We got a single entry ram out here, and just a tremendous amount of quality in this guy. When you talk about blade and roundness, just really nice ram. If I was going to get hypercritical on him, I'd like to give him a little bit more out of his rear leg, but definitely a lot of quality in this one as far as length of body. And this is our only ram in the breeding show today, so he will also be our Supreme Champion ram. Very nice sheep. Congratulations to you.
Congratulations to our Supreme Champion ram, Adrina Banta. Next in the ring is our aged ewes.
It's still on, you can hear it. Yeah, well, I turned it off here. Go ahead.
Currently in the ring is Class 2. Class 3, please be ringside. That is the yearling ewe class.
This is kind of a neat deal. We have an aged ewe class with her two, and just a tremendous amount of upgrade as far as the way we line this one up in a breeding program. This ewe is extremely bold and dimensional in her rack and back into her center body, and this thing probably has the widest loin and flattest loin set that I've maybe even touched on a black-faced sheep. Just tremendous amount of quality there. And then you talk about her two offspring, and they're made right. They're dimensional. They have a lot of shape and power in the rack and back into their loins as well. Good balanced sheep. So a tremendous amount of job getting that one lined up properly and making two really good sheep that fit the industry extremely well. Nice job to you. Congratulations.
Congratulations. First in class, Landon Blackburn with your aged ewe with market lambs. Next in is Class 3, yearling ewes. Currently in the ring is Class 3 Yearling Ewes. Next up is Class 4 Fall Ewe Lambs. Please be ringside.
Really good class of yearling ewes. I'm going to leave them like they stand over there. A young lady in the front, a really nice, well-balanced ewe that has a lot of uniformity to her. She's round in her center body, tremendous amount of muscle up top. She's good enough in her chest floor. I like her length of body. I'd like to bring her up off the ground ever so slightly, make her a little trendier, but I think that sheep has so much quality as far as muscle and turn to her center part of her body just to go ahead and use her to win the class. The sheep that comes in second, I like this one a lot as well. I just want to relax her in her spine, bring her spine down into her body just ever so slightly, make her track off her rear leg a little bit better. But as far as meat and muscle goes, that one's tremendous. As far as her shape goes and her rack and back into her, I like her balance. I like that terminal look she brings. Yes, she's still in her underline. Real nice sheep there. The big black face, blue appearing ewe, just really nice as far as length of body and levelness to her hip. That one just needs to be stopped up in her hindquarter to move her up any more in the class. But that's a really good breeding piece to move forward. The sheep behind me just need to balance them up, make them better structured to make them move up any farther in the class. But it's still some breeding pieces that are very useful tools to put back into the flock and move the program forward for sure. If you would, give them a nice round of applause.
That was Class 3 Yearling Ewes. Next in the ring is Class 4 Fall Ewe Lambs.
Huh? Oh, no, I've been getting... Drive me nuts.
Congratulations to Exhibitors in Class 3. First place, Miley Patton. Second place, Landon Blackburn. Third place, Clara Jean Lenahan. Fourth place, Kayla Daughtry. And fifth place, Sierra Montalvo.
If I hold it, so if I hold it,
Currently in the ring is Class 4, Fall Ewe Lambs. Class 5, Spring Ewe Lambs, please be ringside.
in my opinion, we got a really good class winner out here with this blue ewe. She's really dimensional and shapely up high, yet this one is maternal and feminine down low in her underline. She's up in her chest floor. She's good in her blade. This one is soft and capacious in the center part of her body, yet this one has plenty of muscle when you lay your hands in her. You stand behind this thing, she's wider in her pin set than she is in her shoulder, and I really like how that she has that wedge from the side, and you get behind her, she still carries that feminine wedge extremely well. That's a really unique breeding piece there for sure. The sheep that comes in second, no doubtly, this one is farther along in her condition. She's shapelier in her rack. She has a tremendous amount of turn to her hind leg. This one just gets a lot softer, or a lot harder in her flank line. She gets a lot deeper in her chest floor. I just want to fix her underline and make her balance up a little bit better. This one needs to have more shape and dimension in her loin, but that's a good breeding piece there. That one's presented to a high level. I love the shag and the shape she has underneath. Really nice sheep there. Our speckled face sheep that comes next. Real nice spec ewe there. I love her length of body. I love her turn to her rib. This one just simply needs to be better hided and better chested to move up any farther in the class, but a really nice sheep there as well. If you guys would, give them a nice round of applause.
Congratulations to exhibitors in Class 4 UM. First place, Kimberlyn Alderman. Second place, Grace DeKanzik. Third place, Cole Jeffrey. Fourth place, Courtney Polish. Fifth place, Clara Jean Lenahan. Sixth place, Cooper Peak. Seventh place, Lorelei Balkunis. Eighth place, Rissa Fogarty. And ninth place, Tommy Fogarty. Next entering the ring is Class 5 Spring Ewe Lambs. Attention sheep exhibitors, we need the first and second places from class 2, 3, 4. Please be ringside for the champion you drive.
I think we could emphasize on structural integrity in this class from top to bottom. And the sheep that's the best structured, the best moving, the one that's the widest base from front to rear is naturally just going to win this class. And then you talk about all the extra pieces that she brings as a show you. She ties in the top side of her shoulder extremely good. She's short bladed. She's round bodied. She has a tremendous amount of meat and muscle. If I'm going to get critical on this sheep, whoever docked her tail should have docked it that much shorter just to give her that appearance of having a little bit more hind saddle to her. But I think that one's awfully special. I think you could take that one in a lot of different directions, show that one on to be a yearling, and that one's just going to get that much better because she is so good in her chest floor. She's so round in her body that she's going to continue and progress to be a better sheep. If I'm going to get critical on her fit job, flip the fluff off her ear. I'm not a fan of that. My son likes to do that kind of stuff. Let's blend that one's head in a little bit nicer because her legs are blended in so well. Just to make that one proportion just that much better. And that's just a personal preference, but are very, very nice. High cal on there for sure. Cheap. The sheep that comes in second, just a really nice, well-balanced, very highly presented one that has a tremendous amount of rack back into her loin. She just simply needs to up better to with the one right in front of her, but I really like that one, and I think that one's a unique show you, as well as going to fun breeding piece to put back into the flock. The sheep that comes in third, we talked about structure on our first place one, and this one continues to get good structured, much like our class winner. She just doesn't have the bells and whistles to make her compete up any higher, but that one's well built. She's wide chested. She's good off her rear leg. That one's extremely long and level in her build. Like the rack sheep, that one carries. We just need to make that one a notch better in her flank line. We need to make that one a little bit better in her pin set and give her a shot more muscle in her loin, but I think that one deserves to be third for sure. The sheep that's in fourth, I'm going to talk this one. I like that one an awful lot. That one is just more of the ground pound and power sheep. I told the young man, I said I kept her in here as long as I could because I like that one a lot. That one as a breeding piece may outdo the three behind me, but I think that one as a show you needs to have more neck, better chested, and simply longer body to make her compete with these out here. And that's a lot of things to do in a show ring. But I think as a breeding ewe, that one's going to perform extremely high. Farther down the line, we just need to fix some structure issues. We have one that wants to hawk in. We have one that wants to dive down in her chest. And we have another one that simply doesn't balance quite as nice, all the way down to one that maybe gets a little straighter off both ends, tip her hip in the wrong direction. We need to simply fix that one up in her structure. The sheep that rounds out the class, we need to fix her in her structural build and just give her a little bit more fat to her body. But a really competitive class from top to bottom. If you would, give them a nice round of applause.
Congratulations to exhibitors in Class 5 Spring New Lambs. First place, Amaya Sarah T. Second place, Courtney Bullish. Third place, Ryan Jeffrey. Fourth place, Ben Kemp. Fifth place, Miley Patton. Sixth place, Adrina Banta. Seventh place, Rissa Fogarty. Eighth place, Cade Peak. And ninth place, Stephen Banta. Now coming in the ring is your champion, You Drive.
Try channel 2, see what happens.
After the Supreme Champion U selection, we will be moving into the FFA Market Sheep Show. So Class 1, please be ringside. FFA Market Sheep.
Receiver for that mic. Keep thinking weird.
Our breeding show wasn't huge, but definitely some quality out here, starting from our yearling ewe. Really, that one is both the body and dimensional down her top, yet that one's capacious in her center body. She's still good enough in her chest floor. I really like the turn to the hind leg on that one. There's maybe one out here that's a little cooler in her front, but that one, you got to like that one in her center body. You got to like that one in her rack shape, and for having some age on her, she still has plenty of shape up high, and that one is given that maternal look that's extremely good. The sheep, the blue sheep that gotta like that one an awful lot. If you don't, you probably don't like the club lamb one. That one is off. She's dimensional. She has a lot of shape to her. That one's still really good in her chest floor. If I'm going to get critical on her in the drive, I want to open her up in her chest floor compared to our yearling and the one behind her. But I still think that one's awfully unique, and I love the way that one comes into the ring with her head up high out here ready to show. Young lady, you do a phenomenal job getting that one shown. Our ewe that follows out our breeding show, that one's special. I think that one, as far as her look and just her is extremely good. At times, I think we get that one kicked out to her hind leg a little bit too much for me, and she gets a little softer to her flank. When she gets gathered back underneath of herself, or we set that one in motion, she comes together. She comes together extremely well. You got to like that one for her structural build and presentation is extremely high. She's going to be our champion. Gets a little closer for reserve, but I feel pretty comfortable for being reserved.
I have to hold it and go like this. Really weird. Or they could use that wired one. I don't know. But you would have to take out the whole little piece. No, it's got to have the base to the receiver. Where's another wire? Well, there's one right there. Unless we can find another place. It just keeps basing.
Congratulations, your Supreme Champion U goes to Miley Patton, and your Reserve Champion U goes to Kimberlyn Alderman. Next up in the ring, we are starting our FFA Market Sheep Show with Class 1. Please be ringside.
Yeah, I just don't know what else to do. Every time he's talking, I have to sit here and go like this and go down.
Correction, Supreme Champion U went to Amaya Sarati.
Record mine right here. Okay.
Sure. Okay. Right here.
Like, I don't know, maybe where we give up. A large part we just don't do. But it's really bad. Huh? Good state of try it. It didn't. I've been having to go like this.
Very interesting class to start off our mark. A ewe lamb that comes together extremely well. She has some terminal shape to her. She's good in her chest floor. I would like to balance her up a bit better. She has so much shape and back into her loin. She just needs to be wider in her pin set to balance her up that much better. A nice sheep there to start the day. The sheep comes in second. Gotta like the length of body for that one. That one is shapely and dimensional in her rack and back into his loin. We just need to balance him up in his jump muscle just a little bit, make him a little better off his rear leg. Got a nice sheep there to beat. Our sheep that comes in third, you gotta like this one for turn to its rib and the muscle shape that he carries up high. Unfortunately, this one bows over to his knee. He's not sound enough structured for me. He's still market ready, but we definitely need to focus on those when we're picking those ones out, that they're good enough in their structure to carry that balance and poise all the way to market length. I think if we got this one up any heavier, he would start to show some major issues. This one, like, gets straighter to a stifle. We just need to fix that structural. You simply got to like the meat and muscle that one brings to the ring today.
Congratulations to exhibitors in Class 1 of the FFA Market Sheep Show. First place, Madison Torres. Second place, Amanda Thompson. And third place, Cade Peak. Coming into the ring next is Class 2 FFA Market Land.
If I can help you, just yell at me.
Yeah, we don't know what it is.
Because when they talk about there,
They're on a hard line.
well, I still can't move it because this is going to be this. I still can't move it. This is going to work.
Whose that is?
Kids won't get it.
I don't know. I just want to try for one time.
Will it sit in the corner over here?
Maybe. Just want to see what happens. Microphone's going bad. You could try it, but that might block. That'll probably block the shot.
Yeah, let's put it on right here. That's the way change.
I need Jimmy to get over COVID.
If you see another mic, you just gotta pick up the wire right and use that, I guess.
Oh, it's unplugged right now. Where'd the power go?
Right here?
Yeah.
That block, that your shot?
Right now we just gotta get it. I'll stay on that camera. No, they're out. So like when I hold it in my hand, it's fun. Well, I mean, I still have to turn it. Well, she's coming back with another cable, right?
Yeah, we'll see.
I bet you we could take the component from her. I need to tell her around.
That's right for a space. Batteries was fine, so.
Yeah, the atmosphere.
Hear it. I hear it.
Yeah.
Must still be.
Hey, what are you up to? Are you working? Oh. I need to go get another mic. Oh, yeah, that's good. There's a lot of microphone products, so okay, thank you. How much more is on this?
Other than this goes. They don't want a bunch of
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
In our class two of market, in our class two of market sheep, there's one that just kind of comes to the top for me fairly easily as far as presentation and looking like a show sheep. This one is still dimensional and shapely in his rack and back into his loin. I want to fix this one in his pin set. He needs to be wider and more progressive in his pin set, but I still think this one balances the best. He's presented the best. He's definitely the one that I feel the most comfortable with using to win this class. The sheep that's in second, I like this one an awful lot. This one is really round in his body. He's shapely in his rack. This one has a lot of dimension in his loin. He's level made. We could have worked on presentation, honestly. And I'm just being brutally honest for you. If we could have combed the wool out on that one, presented him a little bit better, exercised a little harder at home, I honestly think maybe this is the better and well-balanced sheep to go ahead and win the class. but we need to do a little bit better homework to make sure that one was ready for show ring. And I'm just giving you my honest opinion of where I want to see you come for next year, if you have a next year. I think that sheep right there is a good platform to start with. We just need to work on that one a little bit more. Same thing with the sheep that comes next. You got to like this one for levelness and dimension in his rack and back into his loin. He simply just has too much condition over his rib to make him move up any higher in the class. So if we could have worked on maybe a little bit more exercise on that one, I think that one definitely could have gravitated up a little higher in this class. Nice sheep there. Our ewe lamb that comes next, you put this sheep in the market show for a reason, and she fits it better than she would fit a breeding show. She's dimensional and shapely in her rack and back into her loin. Gotta love her length of body. Gotta love her levelness of hip. That one is truly unique there. She just doesn't have enough dimension, flank. She doesn't have enough fill to me for me today to move her up any higher in the class, but still a nice sheep there. The sheep behind me, just we need to work on some structure. Just a good class of sheep from top to bottom. If you would give them a nice round of applause.
Congratulations to exhibitors in Class 2 FFA Market Lambs. First place, Josie Peak. Second place, Eduardo Isidro Romero. Third place, Kayla Daughtry. Fourth place, JC Carpenter. Fifth place, Daniela Alvarez. Sixth place, Zachary Patterson. Seventh place, Amarani Avalos. And eighth place, Aiden Scott. Next in the ring is Class 3 FFA Market Lambs.
Do we have something behind it here? Because it wasn't doing as bad right here. Find out. Well, what I did is I unplugged it. Right here.
Now, one of these boards announcers did not work, so we'll find out.
We'll find out fast.
Or there, I don't know which one it is. On his mic? Or does he have it? The wireless one?
Yeah, we just want to see if it's working.
Currently in the ring is Class 3 FFA Market Lambs. Class 4, please be ringside.
It worked. Yeah. I know. It's weird that you don't hold it down all the way. It, we should get something that we can next year. I'll wire it. Not phasing at all right now.
So is this a FFA champion?
You just turn it on.
Sheep that wins this class, I think he does it pretty handily. This one handles extremely good in his rack and back into his loin, and this one's extremely good balance from the side. And you get around the front or the rear of this one, and he's opened up front to rear. Just a really well balanced sheep. I wish he was sheared down just a little bit tighter so we could see that definition of muscle that he carries. But still, when you put your hands on that one, he's overwhelming compared to the one in second. Nice sheep there to win the class. The sheep that's in second, I like this one an awful lot. I wish he was shaggier legged and a little bit more trendy, but that one is so dimensional and so good in his rib shape. He's wide and powerful back into his loin. He's pushing the limits of too much condition for me. I wish he was toned up and had a little bit more exercise in his past to make him shapelier because he has that definition of muscle. He has that density and power. We just need to tidy that one up ever so slightly. The sheep that's in third, you got to like this one for length of body and just dimensional shape and how good he still is in his chest floor. What bothers me about that one is he gets a little looser hided. I think we could have worked on hydration on that one, get him to drink a little bit more water, fill into that skin. But I think that one's awfully good when you talk about his length of body and chest floor design. That one definitely needs to be third in this class. Sheep farther behind me, just sheep that I want to fix as far as structural integrity and balance them up a little bit better. But a good set of sheep from top to bottom. If you would, give them a nice round of applause.
Congratulations to the exhibitors in Class 3 FFA Market Lambs. First place, J.C. Carpenter. Second place, Jenna McGuire. Third place, Guillermo Nava. Fourth place, Wyatt Romero. Fifth place, Mia Cazada. And sixth place, Delaney Kalk. Next coming in the ring is Class 4 FFA Market Lambs. Class 5, please be ringside.
It's got it. We got to learn our short maybe over there. Just now. We have that was fine. What about you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay. I'm still here.
Yeah? Love this cool weather. Yeah.
Probably wondering why. Probably change. I went ahead and decided to bring this sheep out of that class, out of that lineup, because he overwhelms the class, quite honestly. This one is so massive in his rack, and he's so good in his center body. Presentation's obsolete on this one. Just a really, really high caliber. If I'm if I'm going to get critical on this one, he needs to be a shot longer bodied for me. He needs to get up off the ground ever so slightly, but I think that one's overwhelming as far as muscle shape and just terminal aspect. That one's hip shape is extremely good. Really nice sheep there. You're back with the ear fluff. I'd like to blend that one in a little, but that's getting awfully critical on a really, really high caliber sheep. The sheep that's coming in second, I got to put her in second. I think she's the best in her body wall as far as condition. This one's extremely shapely in her rack and back into her loin. She definitely needs to be stopped up from bone underneath her bone work. We need to make her a little better on her pasterns, but I think that one deserves to. Sheep that comes in probably pairs up to our class winner a little bit better, but I think that one's balance is off in his hip. He wants to get a little straighter to his stifle, and I'm a structured guy. We got to make these ones good structure and get them to move around the ring a little bit better to make him move up any higher in the class, but you've done a nice job feeding that sheep to where he is. Our two sheep over to my left, just two really nice sheep, fed extremely good. Just need to work on some structure issues next time we're picking out a project. Make sure they're better structured. Make sure they hold their hocks together so we have a good platform to build on. Good set of sheep. Really nice class winner. Congratulations.
Congratulations to exhibitors in Class 4 FFA Market Lambs. First place, Amaya Sarah T. Second place, Priscilla Sanchez. Third place, Leah Crowell. Fourth place, Peyton Koch. And fifth place, Shayla Tapia. Next in the ring is Class 5 FFA Market Lambs. And after, we will do our FFA Champion Drive. FFA Market Lamb exhibitors. If you are first or second in class 1, 2, 3, or 4, please be ringside for the FFA Champion Drive.
the one that wins this class, as you could tell, it wins it pretty easily, in my opinion. One that you get a couple good looks at. You put your hands on him. He's shapely. He's dimensional. He's shallow. He's short-bladed. He's long-bodied. Really nice sheep there. Just a really, really good lamb. That one, if I'm going to get critical on him, I want to bring him up in his loin edge ever so slightly, fix his hydration a notch, maybe give him a little bit more hind leg, but I think that guy is extremely high caliber, real nice sheep there. The sheep that's in second and the sheep that's in third, honestly, that's where the dogfight was, but I landed on one that I think is just better structured. I think he's better on the move. That one's rack shape is tremendous. That one's loin edge wants to fall down in him. He needs a shot more fill to his stifle or to his flank and to his body wall. If we could fix that about him, I think his presentation would be a little bit better. But it's hot, and I definitely a sheep that has taken some wear and tear for his age. But a sheep that I think is still really good, high caliber to put there in second. I like that one in third an awful lot. Maybe handles a little bit more hydrated to his loin and into his rack. That one maybe has a shot more muscle to his stifle compared to the one in second, but that one doesn't stand on as much bone. He gets a little frailer at the ground. That one gets a little bit outside of himself in his hock, but I think that one is awfully good. That one's going to hang on the rail extremely good as well. The sheep that rounds out this class is one that gets out calibered, honestly. That one gets down in his chest floor. He gets a little flatter to his body wall, but still has some tremendous shape in his rack and back into his loin. That one just needs a little more presentation to make him move up any higher, but a really nice sheep from top to bottom. Good class winner. Good sheep in fourth, if you would. Yep. Well,
Congratulations to FFA Market Lamb Exhibitors in Class 5. First place, Grace DeKanzik. Second place, Miley Patton. Third place, Alina Berry. And fourth place, Keegan Hay. Next in the ring is your FFA Champion Drive.
So is that really sensitive?
Yeah, but it won't stay.
Are you able to turn it off for him from here?
Yeah. Just like leave it on. Didn't even have to look at me. I'm watching him.
So should he just figure out? Those finishes.
Yeah, I did. It's gonna rain really quick too.
All right.
tremendous amount of quality in our FFA show, especially from last year. This year, definitely a major improvement as far as sheep goes, and then exhibitors just have really worked on their showmanship skills and getting these sheep presented extremely well. If you guys would give them a nice round of applause for making it to the champion drive. I think when you just study fundamentals of good livestock, the way that they're built, they should be big at the ground. They should have plenty of show ring presence to them. Their skin should look good. And then you talk about just terminal aspects. They should have plenty of meat and muscle. Their balance needs to be a major priority, because if you're not good structured, you're not going to be good balanced. And I think there's one out here that just ties everything together as far as that balance and structure, and still has a lot of terminal shape. He's going to hang on the rail and just be overwhelming as far as shape goes compared to some of the others out here. If you would, I'll go find you a champion, give him a nice applause, and then I'll find you a reserve as well.
Congratulations to Amaya Sarah T on your champion FFA Market Lamb, and Grace Tukanzik on your reserve champion FFA Market Lamb. Congratulations, Grace Tukanzik, on your champion independent. And congratulations, Josie Peak, on your reserve FFA champion.
More than a couple.
Is this the new guy advertising?
Yeah.
A lot of people live here for 50 years.
He wasn't born here.
Yeah, they do. He's like, how long have you been here? You still have that.
Let's put it back up. I'd rather have it. That was the dumbest idea. No, I got the next one. Behind me.
Next in the ring will be the start of a 4-H Market Lamb show, Class 6. 4-H Market Lambs, please be ringside.
Okay. They have a hammer? No. Better? Can you give me a little? No, that's right. Yes, it's that one. Okay, got it, dude. I'd rather that again. but this table's gonna break. Oh my god.
You would have been dead.
No, I would have enjoyed it. You run the live stream and I'll hold down the top.
Did you bring the new mic?
Right here, but it makes too much noise in the wind. So as soon as the wind stops, I'll put the new mic in. Those watching at home, good grief. Huh?
She said, as soon as the wind stops, it doesn't stop ever.
FFA, pen of 3.
It takes a break. every
Please line
now
up
and then.
ringside. FFA, pen of 3.
Batteries. Days.
I love when you go. Hey, look at the dust coming out of there. Is that the mist? That's the mist of the mist.
Yeah, that's
Scratch that. We will do the FFA and 4-H pen of 3 after the Supreme Champion Drive. Next in the ring is Class 6 4-H Market Lambs.
Yeah. But here, let me go off real quick. Okay, so turn it this way. Just loosen up the ball. Ball head. Right there. Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. I've been promoted. Or demoted. Hanging out. And you can take this one and go like that.
Nice,
yes.
nice little weather to start off our 4-H show. Just good length of body to this one. Good turn to his rib. Plenty of meat and muscle in his rack and back into his hindquarters. If I'm going to get critical on him, presentation, we could have combed those legs out a little bit, sheared that one in a little bit tighter because I think that one's awfully good. The sheep that comes in second, Ewe Lamb, has a lot of femininity up front, but she's terminal in her rack shape and back to her loin. This one just doesn't have the meat and muscle compared to the weather in front of her, but a really nice sheep there that's presented well. The sheep that comes in third, I like the design. I like the levelness of that one's body. Unfortunately, that one just simply needs to have more condition on her to make her market ready, but a really nice sheep there to be third.
Congratulations to Exhibitors in Class 6. First place, Tommy Fogarty. Second place, Whitney Sheshin. And third place, Kinley Romero. Next in the ring is Class 7 4-H Market Lambs. Currently in the ring is Class 7 4-H Market Lambs. Class 8, please be ringside.
Real easy class, in my opinion. The one that wins this one, a ewe lamb that's extremely terminal in her, really good in her design. This one's full rib is just unique, laid in extremely good right through the center part of her body. This one progressively gets wider as she goes back. Really nice sheep there to win Class 2. The sheep that comes next, I really like this one as far as turn to his rib. The tremendous amount of rack shape back to his loin. We could have worked on presentation, blend this one's legs down a little bit better. I think it would give this one that look and a presentation to get him up off the ground and make him look that much wider in his base width. As you really evaluate that one, he's wide from front to rear. This one needs a shot more leg muscle into his stifle, much like our class winner, to compete up with her. But a really nice sheep there to be second. Sheep that's in third and fourth. Really like those ones as far as how up off the ground they are. They're still opened up. They just need to be better structured from front to rear, but a good class of sheep from top to bottom.
Congratulations to Exhibitors in Class 7. First place, Ben Kemp. Second place, Macy Olin. Third place, Calvin Spratt. And fourth place, Michael Spratt Jr. Next in the ring is Class 8. Class 9, please come ringside.
I think the one that wins this class is just the unique show ring type sheep, and then you put your hands on this one. This one's extremely hydrated, really good rack and loin set in him, and then you evaluate this one for his hindquarters. He's extremely powerful and opened up in his pin set, has tons of stifle muscle, and then the way this one tracks off his rear leg, he holds together extremely well. If I'm going to get critical on that guy, I want to drop him in his flank ever so slightly. I want to make him better on his rear pasterns, but that's a unique one. Really good sheep there to win the class. The sheep that comes in next, I like this one an awful lot. This one is the biggest racked and the best in his rib shape. This one just runs into some structure issues. He gets down in his chest floor. He gets a little DD look to his side. He gets a little straighter to both ends. Set that one in motion. He gets off in his hip, but I got to use that one in seconds for terms of muscle and just the way that he ties together down his top line. Really nice sheep there. Young lady, you fed that one to a high degree. The sheep that comes in third, I like this one from her 13th rib forward. She's a really unique breeding piece. She's a really good market lamb. You talk that one as far as terminal shape. She needs to just be more explosive in her rack or in her loin and back into her hip. She has all the muscle in the world in her rack. We just need to balance that one together to make her compete up any higher in the class. The sheep that rounds out the top four, like that one for length of body and shape she has in her rack and back to her loin. That one needs to have better feet and legs on her. Presentation needs to be kicked up a degree just to make her look that much better. Talking points would be a little bit better on her, but a nice sheep there to be in fourth. The sheep to my just need to fix our structural integrity and better off their feet and legs, make them bigger boned from top to bottom over there. But a good set of sheep. Congratulations to all.
Congratulations to exhibitors in Class 8, 4-H Market Lambs. First place, Sarah Brown. Second place, Courtney Polish. Third place, Ben Kemp. Fourth place, Avonlea Stellick. Sixth place, Skylar Morley. Seventh place, Zoe Akery. And eighth place, Miley Spratt. Next in the ring is Class 9, 4-H Market Lambs. Class 10, please come ringside.
Take all of it. This is rough.
I am in one.
White, yeah, you go with her. Here, I'll look right. Okay, right on it. It'll still keep working if I'm on here. Oh, really? Yeah. So if you want to switch. You can't see it, you can start, change the f-stop. It's sinking in. So like I can go in here. You can make it lighter, like the exposure.
The sheep that wins this, I think, just a really nice sheep there. Just a tremendous amount of quality in this one. She's up in her chest floor. She's round in her body. This one's long-bodied and level. And then you evaluate this one from front to rear. and she's broke open in her chest floor. She's good in her chest floor. She's short bladed. This one follows to her flank line extremely good, and she has tons of terminal shape up high. She fits a market lamb division extremely well for me. Our speckle face sheep that comes next, you gotta like this one for density and power and foot size and turn to his rib. I'd like to tighten the height up on this one ever so slightly, but I think that one's an awfully good one. Ultra dense in his body wall. A lot of meat and muscle in that one for sure. Our sheep that comes next, I like this one as far as just the extension through his front end. He's up in his chest floor. That one simply needs to be better balanced to compete up any higher in the class, but that sheep's touches extremely well today. The sheep that comes next, this one just falls out of proportionality for me. This one gets a little bit outside of his skeleton in his front end. This one gets a little down his chest floor and then gets a little wild off his rear leg. But I still think there's some good in that sheep as far as his rack shape goes and as far as the loin set goes on that one. Fix that one as far as balance to make him compete up any higher. The sheep farther down the line, the sheep that comes next, going to talk about that one. That one handles extremely well. That one's dense and bold and dimensional in his rack. That one just simply needs to be better structured out of his rear leg. Needs to get underneath of himself a notch better. I told the young man that's showing that one, you've done a heck of a job. I wish you luck in showmanship tomorrow, because I think that sheep is presented well. He gets that one shown extremely good. We just need to fix the functionality of that one's rear leg and balance to make him compete up any higher in the class, but a good sheep there. Sheep farther down the line run into some structure issues, density and muscle quality that we need to improve on, but a good, really good class of sheep from top to bottom.
Is this one ready to go? Let's see this one. Right. No, it's not.
Testing. Sounds much better.
Congratulations to Exhibitors in Class 9 4-H Market Lambs. First place, Will Kemp. Second place, Cole Jeffrey. Third place, Haley Rhodes. Fourth place, Delilah Sexton. Fifth place, Kyron Blackburn. Sixth place, Rissa Fogarty. Seventh place, Sophie Deshawn. Eighth place, Whitney Shezhin. Ninth place, Talon Romero. And 10th place, Dallas Kaufman. 11th place, Kylie Akery. Next in class is Class 10. Class 11, please be ringside.
Test. Jason,
Yeah.
test.
Which one's that on?
Test. We're right for this, just to finish this up. We can't do
No, I know.
for hog shows.
Even with the delay.
Call Jared too. So that's all.
Just got here like half an hour ago. Just got here from
Yes.
No, it was.
Currently in the ring is Class 10, Class 11, 4-H Market Lambs. Please be ringside.
I think there's some give and take in this particular class. The one that I'm going to land on, I think, is extremely high caliber as far as muscle shape goes, and just density in that touch and handle that he has from front to rear. Just a really, really high caliber sheep when it comes to that. I'd like to take that muscle and put it on the skeleton and the sheep that's in second. I think the one in second is a little bit better built in his chest floor and his design. I think that one pushes the degree of just being a little bit squishy today. I'd like to tone him up, give him a little bit more shape up high, take some of that condition off his rib, but I really like the way that one's built, and I apologize for taking a little bit more time on those two, but I think there's definitely some give and take, and I land on the one that I think if you would put that one in a carcass contest, he would overwhelm it. Is he the most show sheep look today? Probably not, but I feel most comfortable going ahead and using that one. Really nice sheep there in second as well. Love the build and design of that one. The blue sheep that comes next, I like this one for how up he is in his chest floor. He just simply doesn't have the meat and muscle compared to the ones in front of him, but still a really nice sheep. That one's balance and build is extremely good. He just needs a shot more to him to compete up with the two in front of him. The sheep that comes in third, a ewe lamb that I think's held herself together extremely good. She has a lot of shape and dimension in her rack and back to her loin. her balance and just integrity overall doesn't compete with the three in front of her, but still a really nice sheep, and I feel really comfortable putting that one in the fourth hole. The sheep to my left, just really good, consistent type sheep. We just need to give those ones a shot more meat and muscle, or fix them in their structural build to make them compete up any higher in the class. If you would, competitive class, give them a nice round of applause.
Next in the ring is Class 11 4-H Market Lambs. Congratulations to exhibitors in Class 10 4-H Market Lambs. First place, Landon Blackburn. Second place, Ryan Jeffrey. Third place, Ruger Talbot. Fourth place, Aiden Sexton. Fifth place, Whitney Walters. Sixth place, Reese Buffington. Seventh place, Dylan Mitchner. Eighth place, Desiree Joseph. Ninth place, Virginia Rizzo. 10th place, Messi Trejo. 11th place, Mikey Trejo. And 12th place, Michael Spratt Jr. Next in the ring, Class 11. Class 12, please be ringside.
Really nice sheep here to start this class. This one is bold and as dense as you can make one in its rack. This one is extremely smooth in its loin and back to his hip. This one's real good in his chest floor. We could have worked on presentation, shear this one down a little bit tighter, because this one is grooved up in his rack and has so much shape and dimension in its rear leg. It just optimized that look and balance of that sheep to make him just crisp and really just youthful and neat looking. If we could do that, get this one's legs combed out a little bit better, make my job that much easier, because I think that's a really nice sheep there to win the class. The sheep that comes in second, you got to love the length of body, the extension of that one's front end, how level he is in his hip. This one just doesn't have the density of rack shape in front of him, but still a nice sheep there to be second. The sheep that's in third is much like our second place sheep. This one is long bodied. This one has a lot of shape and dimension in his rack. This one is bold and dimensional as he ties into his forerib. He just runs out of power compared to the two in front of him, right to his hindquarters. He gets a little straighter to his stifle today. I'd like to fix him in a structural build to make him move up any higher, but a nice sheep there indeed. The sheep that rounds out the class, he just gets outpowered by the three in front of him, but I like the length of body of that one. I like the chest floor in that one still. He just needs to have more meat and muscle to lay him in any higher in the class, but a really nice sheep there to round out the class.
Congratulations to exhibitors in Class 11 4-H Market Lambs. First place, Will Kemp. Second place, Virginia Rizzo. Third place, Lorelei Balcunas. And fourth place, Lucia Ruiz Castro. Next in the ring is Class 12 We need the first and second place from each 4-H class ringside for the 4-H champion drive to follow class 12.
I apologize for doing that a little different, but I had to get the sheep out of the way because I think he just overwhelms the class as far as length of body and just being bold and dimensional. He handles the best through his rack and back to his loin. This one stands on a good feet and legs. I think this sheep is pretty common in his look, honestly, but I think he overwhelms his every other aspect that you talk about. I want to make this one a little bit cooler through his front end. I want to make this one a little bit more explosive from his body wall aspect, make him a better in his rib shape. But I think still that one overwhelms as far as handle and just extremely fresh and one that just ties everything together extremely well. The sheep that comes in second, love the length of body of that one. I like the density that he carries through his forerib and back to his loin. This one's balance needs to be better. His chest floor needs to be better, but that's a nice sheep that's been fed well. The sheep that comes in third, another one, like the length of body of that one. Structural build and integrity needs to be better on that one. We need to have a shot more meat and muscle on his rack and back to his loin. But I feel pretty comfortable putting that one in third today. The sheep that rounds out the top four, he's the frailest in his bone work. He's the most off in his balance, but still, that one's market ready, and he has some turn to his rib. He has some shape to his rack. He handles extremely well from his 13th rib forward. We need to balance that one up better to make him compete up any higher, but a good class of sheep with all four of them. Congratulations to you.
Congratulations to exhibitors in Class 12 4-H Market Lambs. First place, Landon Blackburn. Second place, Joelle Bigham. Third place, Claire Jean Lenahan. And fourth place, Mitch Johnston. Next in the ring is our 4-H champion drive. So we need the first and second place from all the 4-H classes ringside, please. Champion and reserve FFA, please make your way ringside for the Supreme Drive following the 4-H champion drive.
well, that's spring, right?
Spring is our 4-H champion drive, and then we will have our supreme champion drive at the conclusion of our supreme champion drive. We will do our 4-H and FFA 10 of 3.
I guess I can't use mine then. Damn it, damn it, damn it. That was loud. So how do I change it from the line? I can't.
There'll be a break.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not going to do anything with it right now. We don't have to do this ever again. So it's a very heavy congested.
Show in the 4-H division, that one wins it pretty handily. That one, just as far as that density of muscle shape, you fed that sheep to its highest caliber, young lady, and I commend you for that. That's a really nice sheep there. The sheep that wins the independent division, that one's up off the ground. You got to like that one for extension in his front end, how good he is for a big sheep, being round-bodied, up in his chest floor, and still have some density of muscle. That one, stifle sheep, is extremely good for a real big one. That one I like an awful lot. Love the length of body of that one. That one's shag, and just how he holds himself together is really good. I commend you for that. Talking about our reserves in the FFA show, you got to like that one for length of body. That one's balance needs to be a little bit better. Talked about that one's balance in his class in that particular division. If we can make that one wider in his pin set and better in his hip, that thing is just as good as the one that's standing to his left. I like that one an awful lot. The little ewe lamb that's reserved in our 4-H show, I like the density and power that one carries in her rack. I love the roundness of that one's body. She's good in her chest floor. She gets a little frailer today, but I still think that one in that particular division handled extremely well, and she needed to be reserved. If you would, give them a big round of applause, and I'll show you the two I like the best.
Congratulations to our Supreme Champion Lamb, Amaya Sarati, and Reserve Supreme Champion Lamb goes to Grace Tukanzik. Next in the ring will be our 4-H and FFA pen of 3. Following pen of 3, we will have our bred and fed market lamb show. If I call your name, you need to come into the ring for the bred and fed show. I need Will Kemp, Courtney Polish, Amanda Thompson, Virginia Rizzo, and JC Carpenter. You will return for the FFA or the market lamb bred and fed at the end of the pen of 3.
Yeah, definitely. You know what might better help? Because I have my favorites on my Wi-Fi. The internet version work for her. I'm really sure this is but whatever it is, I think right now we had to end up going to a plug that was getting so bad. Yeah. I mean, it was phasing so bad. Yeah, do you see anywhere? Yeah. So we're not using this one, so I would plug it from here. Yours can go up there. Just got it back. I've only got this one, but the problem is the microphone's so sensitive the wind was picking everything up. Yeah, I have you on over here. Much better. Test, 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 test. Justin? Got a little bit of a hit, but it's not bad. Doing a little bit. Yeah, it is. That's the microphone. I don't know where it is right now. But that's the problem we've been having in here. Really bad hit right there. Yeah, it was cutting out, but
There's so much stuff here.
yeah.
It's just interference. But
This one was, because this is on UHF. Do you have the squelch set? Because we might adjust it as well. The squelch is the what we're hearing now. It's like a CD antenna. That'll make it tough. But I don't know what they did with the little screwdriver over here.
As we get our pen of 3 class out here, I think both the 4-H exhibitors and the FFA exhibitors have done a great job today presenting their animals. I think the 4-H sheep are just a little bit better presented. I think that those sheep are extremely good as far as touch and handle, their smoothness, the skeleton, just a really good set of sheep there. And those three, they're going to be first. Our FFA sheeper will be second. Congratulations to both of you.
Congratulations to our first place pen of 3 Bristlecomb 4-H and our second place pen of 3 Lone Pine FFA. Next in the ring will be our bred and fed Market Lamb show.
I don't know what that means.
Never even noticed that. Going back and forth.
So it's telling you probably wait 10 it's picking up.
If I get it to be good on one,
Maybe it's
it goes to the, it's just that's what I said. I think it is. There's so much. They get a signal, one or the other. It's going to happen. Try that.
As we get our bred and fed division out here, I'm just going to come along and pick a really good champion, and I think there's one out here that ties everything together as far as balance and structural integrity. There's one that handles extremely good. She might be a little bit more feminine and more of a breeding type sheep, but I still think she carries the most good out here as far as terminal shape and dimension. Young man in the front of the line, he's going to be our champion. If I was to pick a reserve, the young lady in the 4-H uniform, she'd be a reserve. I love the density and power of that one. We just need to fix him off his rear leg.
Weather Dam Doe Show, this is your 5-minute call. Weather Dam Doe Show, this is your 5-minute call.
Okay, sure. Try it, see if it goes away.
I can't hear it.
Oh, I hear it, but I'm just
It's all in.
gotta wait until he walks now. Boy, I hope that got picked up online. By the way, everybody listening, and that was Jamie Cutright.
How we work around it. That's bad. Wait till you hear from Jason. He's got the same pants he's been wearing for a month.
No, for at least the last 2-3 days. Worn them in that hole. Working hard.
Hey, you don't even have to buy them. You can make your own.
You know how they do it now? They used to do it like when you buy ripped jeans. Be somebody that actually worked in beef. They do it with laser. Done.
They line them up on a conveyor belt.
They do
Thousands at a time.
They do one at a time. It's super fast. Look it up on YouTube. Jeans.
Well, what did they used to do?
Oh, literally, people come out here and do it. They would just, yeah, they hired cheap labor, and I watched the whole documentary on it on
Like
Levi.
it was ripped, so I would think they would just take a dull knife.
Now they want to wear it the next day.
Oh, right.
Nice, well,
Way back when they could see.
huh?
I mean, they didn't want to rip them up. Just starting to.
Yeah.
So they,
And they can do that with
but
the laser.
now I've seen
And they lighten them with the laser too. Like this lightning pattern. Get the laser. Yeah.
So I don't use high school or walking around, and there was hardly any kids.
Oh.
It was 80% holes on 20% material. I was just
Alright. Yeah, isn't that crazy?
it's crazy. My friends told me, yeah, $200 for this.
Wow.
Okay, well, so Jeff, isn't it your downside?
Weather Dam Doe Class 1, please
Not that
come
I've noticed.
ringside. Weather Dam Doe
Yeah, you
age
can't
Doe,
go
born
far.
2020, please come ringside.
Going far right.
Well, CDs and stuff.
But you turn it up to a point where the stroke stops. But so what happens is then you only get a hot signal. They gotta be closer to you. So if I'm talking to somebody on TV and we're 5 miles away, I have to turn the squelch down so I want to hear them. If they're 2 miles away, I can turn the squelch up. And I won't get that. I'm just hearing that sound.
So it's, what is it?
It's still putting out the bad noise.
Which is something in the air.
I mean, there's so many variables for happening.
Well, you know,
We have wind, we have rain.
I was playing.
We were literally holding this down, holding the antenna up.
I was playing at the airport with a band,
Yeah.
and we ended the song, and the airport intercom was on.
Yeah.
What?
So we had an old carbon, probably a late 70s carbon analog.
Okay, Class 1 was a scratch. We're going to go to Class 2, Yearling Doe, born 2021. Class 2, please come ringside.
Working as a cooler. And you can, I could headphones. It was the headphones plugged into a mic there. I could turn it down there, and somehow it was working out. And I would get a radio. I would get radio.
Not that they say that if you have a long stretch,
You'll pick it up on the radio. Yeah.
pretty wide. That was way before wireless in town. They stopped it.
Class 2, Macy Olin, your class is entering the ring. Class 2, Macy Olin, your class is entering the ring.
Yeah, we can do that. You can't do that.
Currently in the ring is Class 2, Class 3, Fall Does. Please be ringside.
But they were outside.
Oh, sweet. So I went out there. Oh, the electrical thing.
Two nice yearling does or age does out here. Tremendous amount of length of body, extension through that doe's front end. She needs a shot more meat characteristics to make her just obsolete, but I think there's still a lot of quality in that one. Breed that one to a moderate stout buck, and you're definitely going to get some good projects. Gotta love the length of body of the doe in second. Ties in good behind her shoulder. She's dead level out of her hip. This one just needs a shot more to her to make her compete with the doe in front of her, because I like the length of body of that one, much like the doe in front of us. Breed that one to a moderate stout one, and you'll get some good projects. I think the mothering abilities in these two is going to be extremely good. Congratulations to both of you.
Congratulations to exhibitors in Class 2 yearling does. First place, Brisa Gutierrez. Second place, Kayla Daughtry. Next in the ring is Class 3 fall does. Class 4 spring does. Please be ringside.
All right, see you. Thank you.
Real nice doe to start the class. I think she wins it pretty handily. This one's the widest in her chest floor. She's the boldest in her ribs. She's the best in her rack shape. This one ties to her loin extremely good. If I'm going to get critical on this girl, I want to fix her off her rear leg. I think if we could make her stifle, tie in a little bit better when we set her into motion, make her a little bit better off her pastern to make her fit that front structural integrity that she carries. Definitely we could bring that one along a little bit better, but a nice doe there to go ahead and win the class. The doe that's in second, really nice doe, feminine up through her front end, good turn to her rib, one that you definitely want to handle twice because she has a tremendous amount of shape and dimension in her rack. She wants to get a little bigger in her jump muscle, and at first I thought maybe it was the fit job. We could have blended her hip down a little bit better, but she truly wants to get a little higher to her jump muscle, sets her loin in a little bit tighter. I'd like to smooth her up there. I'd like to fix her off her rear leg. She gets a little straighter to her stifle, and she tracks around the ring a little closer compared to the doe in front of us. But definitely a nice doe, a good breeding piece there to move forward with. The doe that comes in third, I like this one when you set her into motion. This one ties together well. She just falls out of balance when you get her on the stick and get her to stand still. She drops her chest floor. She opens up the top side of her blade. She rolls to her hip, but I still think there's some good in that doe for sure. The doe that rounds out the top four, a doe that has some length of body, a doe that definitely has some chest width to her. Definitely need to tidy that one up in her skeleton. She gets too soft behind her shoulder. She gets open in her blade. She gets too peaked in her hip for me today, but still a nice breeding piece. Breed that one to something that's heavier muscled and really good constructed, and I think we would have some great projects down the road. Good class of goats from top to bottom.
Next in the ring is Class 4 Spring Does. At the conclusion of Class 4, we will do our champion Weather Dam Doe Show. So we need the first and seconds to stay ringside from Class 2 and 3. Congratulations to Class 3 Exhibitors, Fall Doe. First place, Ruger Talbert. Second place, Audrina Banta. Third place, Ruger Talbot. Fourth place, Ruger Talbot. Fifth place, Brisa Gutierrez, and sixth place, Kayla Daughtry.
I got a single entry out here in a doe that I wish she had some competition because she has some great talking points. This one's long, she's level, she's three-dimensional in her top shape. She's fit to a T. This one's presentation is extremely good. If I'm going to get critical on this girl, I think she gets a little flatter to her forerib. She gets a little straighter to her stifle when you evaluate her from behind. But I still think there's a lot of good in that doe. Congratulations to you.
Congratulations to our exhibitor in Class 4, first place, Josie Peak. Now entering the ring is the champion, Weather Dam Doe Show. FFA Meat Goats, please be ringside. You will enter the ring after the conclusion of the champion, Weather Dam Doe Show.
Our breeding show was small, but the quality was good from our yearling doe up there, our aged doe. Just a really nice, well-balanced doe. She needs a shot more to her, but I still think that's a good breeding piece and a great platform to start with. Just get that one lined up to the right buck, and definitely are going to have some good projects down the road. The doe out of the middle class, I like this one an awful lot as far as three-dimensional look, how open she is in her chest floor. When this one gets relaxed and gets out and moves, this one is cool fronted as you can make one. This one's, like I said, in her rack and rib in that particular class. This one was obsolete as far as just the way she transitions from rack back to loin. This one's hindquarters is extremely good. Really nice doe there. If I'm going to get critical on that girl in this particular drive, I think we could bring her up off the ground ever so slightly, but I think that one's awfully good. The doe that wins that last class, Really nice, really well balanced doe, smooth to her look. I still want to make that one a little bit better in her forerib, make her a little bit stouter to her hindquarters, but I still think that one has a lot of quality. There's some give and take in this particular breeding show, but I think there's one that ties together extremely well. The young man out of the middle division, he's going to win the Supreme Champion doe. I think it gets a little closer for reserve. But the doe on the end I feel the most comfortable with as far as that one, the way she blends together and be just that obsolete breeding piece, easier to match up to either a stout, big, powerful buck or match up to one that needs a little bit more base with. She's going to be your reserve.
Congratulations to our champion, Weather Dam Doe, Ruger Talbot, and our reserve, Weather Dam Doe, Josie Peak. Next up in the ring will be our FFA Meat Goat Show, starting with Class 1. Currently in the ring is Class 1 FFA Market Goats. Class 2, please come ringside.
I think this class is pretty plain and simple. The goat that wins this class, he just has more meat and muscle laid in his top. He's more three-dimensional, has more meat goat characteristics to him compared to the one that's in second. The one that's in second, it's honestly a good thing that our industry needs more goats because he's borderline as being market ready or not. He's pretty skinny, he's pretty frail. We need to stouten that one up as far as muscle shape down his top, give him more fat, give him more muscle to make him just look more like a meat goat. But I'm going to call him market ready today, but he is borderline, so we want to watch that for next year.
Congratulations to exhibitors in Class 1 FFA Market Goats. First place, Brisa Gutierrez, and second place, John McMurtry. Class 2, please come ringside. After the conclusion of Class 2, we will have our FFA champion drive of our Market Goats.
The goat that wins this class, he simply just wins the class because he handles the best. He has the most shape down his top from his rack back to his loin. He has the most cutability in his shoulder and into his hindquarter. As far as that one's structural integrity and build, I want to make him better chested. I want to make him tie into the top side of his shoulder better. But I think that one, as far as just muscle goes, he overwhelms the class. He has to go ahead and win. The goat that I like the best as far as design and just the way that he balances up as far as length of body and chest floor sits in him is the goat there in second. I think that one is fed to the highest degree of his potential. He just doesn't have the muscle
and the density that he needs to carry to compete up any higher in the class. But he is by far my favorite, the way that he just lays out his lines from his top line to his underline. Just need to have more meat and muscle in that one, but a nice goat there. You've done a heck of a job feeding that one and getting that one presented today. Congratulations to you. The doe that comes next, this doe is good in her chest floor. She has a lot of length of body. I got to fix her off her rear leg. I got to make her a little bit more terminal shape compared to maternal shape. She wants to get softer to her spine. She opens in her blade a little bit more, and she should, because she is a doe compared to the wethers in front of her. But a nice goat there, young lady. You've done a good job feeding that one as well. The goat that comes next, that one just needs to have more punch to him. He needs to have a bigger hindquarters. He needs to have more rack shape. But the young lady's done a good job getting that one clipped off, getting that one presented today. Unfortunately, genetic potential, we just ran out of it, but you've done a nice job. The doe down there on the end, as far as balance and style, I got to like that one a lot. She is just way more maternal than she is terminal. We need to give her more shape up top if she's going to be in a market show, but I think that one's good in her own right. Unfortunately, she's just looking to have babies instead of going to hang on the rail compared to the other ones out here. But a nice doe there, young lady. You've done a nice job as well. If you would, give them a nice round of applause.
Congratulations to exhibitors in Class 2 FFA Market Goats. First place, Peyton Kalk. Second place, Kayla Daughtry. Third place, Aram Avalos. Fourth place, Delaney Kalk. And fifth place, Leah Crowell. Next in the ring is your FFA Champion Drive.
Why when somebody else is in there? You can't.
We got a nice set of goats out here in our FFA show. I think when we talk about our heavier weight goats, we have a good pair there. Just talked about the one the closest to me wins that particular class just because of the amount of meat and muscle he has laid in his top. Talk about functionality, a structural build. Definitely want to fix him there, but I still think we have a nice goat that's going to hang well on the rail. He's going to be our champion. I think it gets a little closer for reserve, but I think there's one that pairs up a little bit better to him. I definitely want to give him a little bit more strength and power behind his shoulder, but the goat that was second, he's going to be our reserve. If you would, give him a nice round of applause.
Congratulations to your FFA Champion Market Goat, Peyton Kalk, and your reserve Champion FFA Market Goat, Kayla Daughtry. 4-H Market Goat exhibitors, please be ringside.
mark it ready. And
Justin, with one class of market goats that has 2 in it, so that will be your champion at reserve 4-H. Okay? It's getting tough here.
I don't know.
I know, no, I mean, after at the end. That's okay. Nobody's. There's no bread for them.
There's a buckle for bread inside there.
Okay. Beautiful. Nice work, Cal. Haley, no pedigree, no bread set. No, we don't have a pedigree for these. And bread and set, there's 3 on the sheet. Okay. So I think the paper girl that had the FC champion is bread and set. Yeah. So she'll get it. Yeah. Yeah, because the other one's a girl. Yeah. Okay. Champion bread and set. So during the Supreme Drive, when they all come back in, we'll give that up. Give that up. Okay.
We only have 2 goats in our 4-H show, but I think the one that's going to go ahead and be 4-H champion is one that just balances up better than the goat in second, or that's going to be reserve. I like the density of muscle this one has in his loin and back to his hindquarters. He definitely is a better structured goat. He's going to go ahead and win champion. The doe that's in second, there's things that you really got to like about that one. Her loin, her rack shape, is extremely big and bold and dimensional. She starts to get a little bit too much fill for a market goat for me, but I still think there's a lot of good in that girl. Definitely need to trim her hind feet. She's starting to get long in her toe, and it's rolling her pastern down and splaying her toe. But still, I think there's a lot of good in that doe. I think she's going to hang on the rail extremely good, as she has some density and some boldness to her rack and loin. If you would, give him a nice round of applause for our champion of reserve 4-H.
Congratulations to your champion 4-H market goat, Ashlyn Joseph, and your reserve champion 4-H market goat, JC Eaton. Next up in the ring is our supreme champion market goat drive.
Oh, you're good. That's what I wanted you to do. And on the bread and spread, that'll be paid.
Yes. I'm gonna put the cover over me flying with them.
I think Justin likes them out of the box. Take a picture. So I can get the box. You just hand them. You just hand them. Yeah, you can like type it in this little part too. Just type a name right here too, and it'll automatically pop up. Forgot I had a baby. Terrible.
Our goat show was small, but the quality's good. Talking about the 4-H goat again, gotta like that one for how much density he has in his rack and back to his loin. He's leveling his hip. Definitely want to fix that one out of his rear leg, tie that one into his shoulder a little bit better, but I still think we have a lot of quality in that goat, especially for a smaller, more moderate goat. Just a nice one there to win the 4-H show. The goat that comes out of the FFA show, a lot of density in that one in his rack, back to his loin. Tremendous amount of meat and muscle in his hindquarters. Another one that talked about want to fix that one in his chest floor. Want to make that one a little bit better structured out of his rear leg, but definitely a good competitive champion drive. The young lady that comes second in the FFA show, like the look of that one from the side an awful lot. Just wish he had the density that the goat in front of him has, and I think we could have switched that pair, but a good goat there to be reserved in our FFA show as well. Had an enjoyable day going through your sheep, enjoyable time going through your goat show. Ring staff is great. Definitely look forward to tomorrow going through showmanship. Your kiddos are awesome. I look forward to working with them in showmanship tomorrow. If you would, give them a nice round of applause.
I love it.
Congratulations to your Supreme Champion Market Goat, Peyton Kalk, and your Reserve Supreme Market Goat, Ashlyn Joseph.
Made my work easy. I decided to add those two.
Let's throw these papers in here.
Okay.